Hey fam! Please hit like, subscribe and notification bell. Here for you.
Formula One, also known as F1, is the highest class of international racing for open-wheel single-seater formula racing cars sanctioned by the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile (FIA). The World Drivers' Championship, which became the Formula One World Championship in 1981, has been one of the premier forms of racing around the world since its inaugural season in 1950. The word formula in the name refers to the set of rules to which all participants' cars must conform. A Formula One season consists of a series of races known as Grands Prix, which take place worldwide on both purpose-built circuits and closed public roads. The race consists of 20 drivers, 10 teams, 10 chassis manufacturers. Engine manufacturers are Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, Renault, and tire suppliers are Pirelli. A points system is used at Grands Prix to determine two annual world championships. One for drivers, the other for constructors. Each driver must hold a valid super license, the highest class of racing license issued by the FIA. The races must run on tracks graded formerly A, the highest grade rating issued by the FIA. Formula One cars are the fastest regulated road course racing cars in the world, owing to very high cornering speeds achieved through the generation of large amounts of aerodynamic downforce. The cars underwent major changes in 2017, allowing wider front and rear wings and wider tires, resulting in peak cornering forces near 6.5 lateral G and top speeds of around 350 km per hour. The hybrid engines are limited in performance to a maximum of 15,000 rpm. The cars are dependent on electronics and aerodynamics, suspension, and tires. Traction control, launch control, and automatic shifting, plus other electronic driving aids, were first banned in 1994. They were briefly reintroduced in 2001, and have more recently been banned since 2004 and 2008 respectively, with the average annual cost of running a team, designing, building, and maintaining cars, pay transport, being approximately $247 million. Its financial and political battles are widely reported. On January 23, 2017, Liberty Media completed the acquisition of the Formula One Group from private equity firm CVC Capital Partners for $8 billion. The first World Championship race took place at Silverstone in the United Kingdom in 1950. Giuseppe Farina, Alfa Romeo, won the first World Championship for drivers in 1950, narrowly defeating his teammate Juan Manuel Fangio. However, Fangio won the title in 1951, 1954, 1955, 1956, and 1957. His record of 5 World Championship titles stood for 45 years until Michael Schumacher took his 6th title in 2003. Fangio's streak was interrupted after an injury by two-time champion Alberto Ascari of Ferrari. He was never able to win the World Championship and has been described by The Independent as the greatest driver to never win the World Championship. Since the deaths of Senna and Ratzenberger, the FIA has used safety as a reason to impose rule changes that otherwise, under the Concord Agreement, would have had to be agreed upon by all the teams, most notably the changes introduced for 1998. This so-called narrow track error resulted in cars with smaller rear tires, a narrower track overall, and the introduction of grooved tires to reduce mechanical grip. The objective was to reduce cornering speeds and to produce racing similar to rainy conditions by enforcing a smaller contact patch between tire and track. According to the FIA, was to reduce cornering speeds in the interest of safety. In the 1950s, race distances varied from 300 kilometers 190 miles to 600 kilometers. The maximum race length was reduced to 400 kilometers in 1966 and 325 kilometers in 1971. The race length was standardized to the current 305 kilometers in 1989. However, street races like Monaco have shorter distances, to keep under the 2-hour limit. Every team in Formula One must run 2 cars in every session in a Grand Prix weekend, and every team may use up to 4 drivers in a season. A team may also run 2 additional drivers in free practice sessions, which are often used to test potential new drivers for a career as a Formula One driver or gain experienced drivers to evaluate the car. Most drivers are contracted for at least the duration of a season, with driver changes taking place in between seasons, in comparison to early years where drivers often competed at an ad hoc basis from race to race. Each competitor must be in the possession of a FIA Super license to compete in a Grand Prix, which is issued to drivers who have met the criteria of success in junior motorsport categories and having achieved 300 kilometers, 190 miles, of running in a Formula One car. Drivers may also be issued a super license by the World Motorsport Council if they fail to meet the criteria. Although most drivers earn their seat on ability, commercial considerations also come into play, with teams having to satisfy sponsors and financial demands. Thank you for your time. Let us meet to our next video. Signing out.